Armstrong guns and in classic battle. That's right, it's some more CA versus the world action. What kind of action are you going to see? Well, obviously tonight you're going to see some Fall of the Samurai. I have never played Fall of the Samurai in classic mode, so let's hop in. So here is the loading screen. The map is Crossroads. The players, as you can see, are Will, CA, and Phill from CA. And our alliance, of course, is Agony Prussian Prince, or Prussian Prince on YouTube. And then Patchy, which would be myself. You can see that I'm going to deploy in the yellow area, which is going to be on the lower side of the field. Prussian Prince is going to fly in the forest on the hill, and CA is going to deploy opposite us. I will deploy opposite of Will, and Prussian Prince opposite of Phill. This is the first game that we played against CA, so I'm going to show you the armies, kind of break down what happened, and let you watch the action from the replay, and then eventually, probably tomorrow, I'll upload the live commentary. So, Prussian Prince and I both played as the Aizu, with extremely similar line-heavy builds. Our infantry consists of Black Tortoise Force, Azure Dragon Force, 1 US Marine for Prussian Prince, and 1 Vermilion Bird Force for me. Each of us is sporting 4 Yariki for our cav. I also have 2 bow cav units. The visible armies of CA, Will playing as the Choshu. Up front he's got some sharpshooters, 3 units of line infantry, which is composed of white bears. He also has a Shogutai, a modern general, levy infantry, and that's when we begin to see his teammates' troops. You can also see in the back that he's sporting 2 Armstrong guns. That's all that's visible at the moment. The only units that started visible for the Nagaoka player, which is CA Phill, of course those guys are now invisible, was a unit of line infantry, a unit of shogunate infantry, 1 unit of levy infantry, and this unit of katanakachi, and further back here, a spear levy protecting the guns. So what strategy are Prussian Prince and I using overall? You can see that the armies we've chosen have no artillery. We wish to be mobile and flexible. We have a lot of cavalry, melee cavalry, hoping to give us a cavalry advantage, and also a lot of mobility. Prussian Prince is focused with an elite unit here to hopefully give him an edge in combat fight, whereas on my side I've brought an elite melee unit because the hills and terrain could possibly give me cover for their use. The other unique unit that I brought to my build that the Prussian Prince doesn't have is a unit of Boki, which is right here. I think I originally said 2 units, I actually only have 1. Boki easily outrange regular line units and can fire over a hill, which we felt like would give us an advantage. Early on as the fighting started, the CA players bombard us with fire from their Armstrong guns. Although it doesn't look overwhelmingly effective, these guns can rack up a lot of kills extremely quickly. It doesn't take much. 1 or 2 well-placed shots, and you're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 kills. The Armstrong guns are just as deadly in the classic battles as they are in the Avatar battles. So, we set up, we start a general envelopment maneuver. You can see that we kind of have a double pincer set up, as the CA troops are quite close together. We need to move quickly as we don't want to sit back and just absorb all of the ammunition from the Armstrong guns. However, we're going to move cautiously just in case there are traps laid for us, as it does not appear that our opponents have their entire army revealed at the moment. So, as you can see, the envelopment begins, albeit cautiously. You can see Prussian Prince is going to use a unit for reserve here. This is extremely smart. If your flank gets rushed with cavalry, a unit of reserve guns can position itself to fire into a cavalry charge and quickly end their effect. Pretty effective strategy in Fall of the Samurai. You've seen me use it, and I've called it the hook and ladder tactic. It's just a different version of the same idea, which is have multiple arcs of fire set up to beat your opponent. Here there was an ambush set. You can see some ninja bombs going off. One of my cavalrymen unfortunately paid with his life. There he is. And I start to charge the offending party, which is a hidden Kisho ninja unit. You can see they go hidden once again quickly. My men stopped charging, so I quickly run away, assuming that there would be another volley of ninja bombs. There wasn't, and so I regrouped 2 of my units of cavalry and decided to come in for the kill. These Kisho ninja are going to be relatively easy for my men to kill, as they don't do well against cavalry. It appears that they were trying to get off a second volley of ninja bombs. There they go. So that's going to be the end of the Kisho Ninja issue. On the other side of the battlefield, some action has gotten started, and I'd like to show you that. Indeed, the CA Phill had some cavalry hidden, and here he charges them out. He's got Shogunate Guard Cav, Carbine Cav, and he makes a run for Prussian Prince's flank. and he manages to get in and cause a waver. However, the reserve troops of Prussian Prince are able to lay down fire on any troops that CA Phill pushes forward, and his men take some pretty heavy losses. And here you can see he's setting up a second line of reserve fire while using this unit for cover. He's able to effectively push back CA Phil's troops. Here are the guys who almost routed. You can see he's got them in decent defensive mode. The important reason to be in defensive mode is, as you can see, not all of these troops were lined up. Some of them are doing the notorious Tosa shuffle, but the guys who were lined up went ahead and fired rather than waiting for everybody to be there before they began to fire. And here you can see the gruesome results as the Shogunate Guard Cav is cut down by the very tactic that I said he was probably employing. So you can see there that a cheap unit set far enough back to give supporting fire is able to blast out the enemy cav attack that was otherwise killing his men. This allows Prussian Prince to successfully own that flank. In the meantime, we're running some tactics here to try and take out the enemy Armstrong guns. So what we're doing here is a kind of a tactic to divide and conquer. You can see the spear unit can easily protect these cannons, and if I were them, I would probably just leave that spear unit right on top of the cannons. But here you can see me maneuvering my cavalry in the background in order to try and lure the defensive units far enough away that I can quickly outmaneuver them with multiple units. Seeing the danger to their cannons, a Yari key comes down from CA Phill in order to help defend Will's cannons. You can see him start to chase my Yari key, so I allow him to chase me, and I simply command my men to run further away all the time. Prussian Prince and I come in, split the difference, and now we're free to break and attack wherever we please. I break towards the guns, Prussian Prince is going to break towards the enemy troops. You can see me coming here and immediately chase off the gun crews. I do a quick charge in and out just to stop them from firing. I want to get away from these spears. All the while I'm massing for a major cav assault behind. I've got all the rest of my cavalry waiting. Here's that unit of cavalry that was chasing my men, and now we've led it on a wild goose chase. This was actually a spear levy, but because it was wavering, I charged it in the back and it actually routed. So Yari key, or that was actually a bow key that just routed a spear levy, believe it or not. The charge can be kind of devastating if a unit's already wavering. And here we've lured the other player's cav back into an overwhelming trap, while I spring another one of my Yari key into action to finish off the remaining gun crews so they can't return to their guns. By this point, Prussian Prince has completely mobbed CA Will's troops with his cavalry, because we did have a lot of cavalry behind their lines. His troops are turning every which way, trying to be able to carry on the fight, but it's really too late, because even if they could turn, my infantry is on station. You can see on the other flank, the Prussian Prince is simply pushing back the remaining Nagaoka forces with relative ease because he had previously won that flank, and he was able to outmaneuver. You can see on the overview of the mini-map that we have completely surrounded our opponents, and at this point their armies go into a complete chain rout. So what went right for us and what went wrong for the other team? So obviously what went right was our strategy ended up paying off. Without all the money spent on artillery, we were able to have more troops in order to more quickly outflank our opponents, and the kills they got from their artillery, don't kid yourself, they were substantial. However, in the end, it did not pay off because they lost the flexibility when it came to the infantry fight and the cap fight. So they were not able to protect their flanks because of the money spent on the artillery. So that is the risk you take when you bring artillery. It has to be decisive, or else you're probably going to lose out in the numbers game. It was really a fun battle. This one ended rather quickly, but this was not the last battle that Prussian Prince and I played versus CA Will and CA Phill. So I will also show you the footage from that battle. Alright, here are the results from the first battle that Prussian Prince and I played. You can see that the Prussian Prince obviously ran into the most action there, and that was going to be his major cab charges and his infantry pushes. I played more of a supportive role in this battle. You can also see the results for CA Will and CA Phill. Let's take a look at the unit statistics so that I can show you what it was that I wanted to show you. You can see for me, I had a Yari key and a bow key who really cleaned house. Because my cav did most of the action in my army, as my infantry didn't have a whole lot of time to engage. On CA Will's side, again, those Armstrong guns took out the equivalent of, looks like almost 2.5 units worth of infantry. So again, they were not trivial, and remember that we killed them relatively quickly into that battle, so do not underestimate the Armstrong guns, as I said, as they can be quite deadly. You can see, however, that the rest of his units were able to not get that many kills, and because his Armstrong guns did not cause a pivotal did not cause a crucial death to any units in the battle. His infantry was not able to pull out the win. You can see that he had a Kisho ninja and a sharpshooter for obvious purposes of ambushing, and the ambush did not work out, and that's unfortunately the price that happens whenever an ambush doesn't work out. Again, you can see that the cav was responsible for most of the action for Prussian Prince. And down here for CA Phill, he did get some kills with his revolver cav and carbine cav, but most of the rest of his troops were hurt pretty badly because the Prussian Prince just had a superior position on him. It was a really fun game, really fun to play against the developers. They're great sports and a lot of fun to be in there. And but like I said, if you think this is all the action, I played in 4 battles. There was a lot more battles than that took place. I am going to show you the live battle and the replays from all 4 battles. That's why it's going to make quite a few videos. You might be saying, Heir, why in the world would you show us the same battle twice? Well, some of you all like to see the live, and some of you all like to see the replay. So I'll kind of stretch them out and intermix them here. Last night you got a live battle. Tonight I'm going to upload 2 separate replay battles, and then tomorrow I'm going to give you some more live battle footage, followed on Friday by some more replay footage, plus on Friday I'm going to play some more battles, hopefully against CA, and we'll get you some more footage. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you want to see other footage, I suggest you go and check out all of the other YouTubers who are involved. I may miss some of their names, but there are a lot of them who are involved. Gamer Dudester, Diplex Heated, Point Man was involved, the Prussian Prince was involved, and there were others as well. If you were involved and you're watching this video, please make a comment and let my viewers know that you were involved so they can go check out your channel and see any footage that you have, and also see your other videos if they are interested. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back momentarily.